like, I don't know what the business of a poet is. A poet has no business except to live in such a way that this mood of enthusiasm and of fun, you know, and of pleasure, it becomes available. Like, I remember being young and thinking, lying all the time, like, it's like comes from like suffering or something. It's bullshit. I mean, it comes from having fun. Like, you can suffer. Life is suffering all the time. I mean, it's like, it's this road that goes off from that where you're like back in a state where you're having a good time again, where you are having fun, where you're like happy, where you're at peace. How do you live in such a way that you have that sensation as often as possible? Because it's the only one in which I can really work. And I want to work as much as I can. Abuse to my brother. Just what the world needs. Another world. I don't know. I never know what I am writing about until I'm about 90% of the way through. Like, I just have material. Then I start to catch on to what I'm being told. Something's telling me, I go, oh, I understand. I'm supposed to write about, this is what you want me to write about. Then I pretend as if I knew that all along. Night flight turbulence. Some things need to be done in the dark by yourself. I'm not saying it's right. In the greenly lit restroom, I looked pretty ill, like a vampire locked in a confessional.
Hart Crane said, poetry is evidence of the experience.
Yeah, well, what Walter Benjamin said, poetry is the death mask of an experience. I mean, yeah, evidence of an experience. Walter Benjamin called it the death mask of an experience. It's a visionary, a transformative experience when the world changes, and it's like the mood of being in love. It's like the world hasn't changed. You have, but the world changes. You perceive it differently. You feel a tenderness towards everything, and like a love for everything, and like the light and the leaves. I mean, everything looks like you're seeing it for the first time or something. And like poems come out of that mood. So you have to find a way to get into that mood, one way or another. And the poem is evidence, or evidence is good that you had this experience, and you can see it right away. I can. I mean, reading stuff, whether it's a poem is just something that's written, or whether it came out of this joy, it was something someone wrote in a state of this kind of rapturous state. I don't know why, but you can tell. Night flight turbulence. Some things need to be done in the dark by yourself. I'm not saying it's right. In the greenly lit restroom, I looked pretty ill, like a vampire locked in a confessional. The drug had no effect whatsoever, maybe slightly more arctic and fearful. Angel of meetings long despaired of, poor girl.
We could put something together to eat or watch an old movie. You and me, friendless, in this winter city, glimpsed for a minute as far-off lights passing under the wing. Just two more cripples Jesus never got around to. One theory says we won't remember dying any more than being born. Where can you go at this hour? Stay with me.
I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm constantly learning. Every single time I finish something, I have to learn how to do it all over again. You know, I don't know if you have that experience, but